You're about to learn something most men never realize, even after years of dating. It's not confidence. It's not looks. And it's not what you say. It's a silent signal exchanged in seconds. One your body understands before your mind does. Women feel it instantly, and decide everything from it. Miss it and you're forgettable. Feel it and you change how attraction works forever. Most men walk through their entire lives completely blind to the invisible language being spoken right in front of them. They think attraction is a game of logic, a series of checkboxes, or a puzzle to be solved with the right combination of words. They spend thousands of dollars on clothes, hours in the gym, and weeks rehearsing lines, yet they still find themselves standing in that agonizing gap between being the nice guy and being the man she actually desires. They don't realize that a woman's body is a finely tuned instrument, constantly scanning for signals that her conscious mind hasn't even processed yet. Think about the last time you hugged a woman. It was likely a social obligation, a quick squeeze, a polite pat on the shoulder blades, and a swift retreat. You felt nothing, and more importantly, she felt nothing. You were safe. You were respectful. You were completely, utterly forgettable. You were just another ghost passing through her life. But there is a different reality, one where a simple 3-second window can communicate more than 1,000 hours of conversation. Research in neurobiology and behavioral psychology shows that physical touch activates the brain's reward system within milliseconds. But not all touch is created equal. There is a specific frequency of contact that doesn't just provide comfort. It awakens something primal, something hungry, and something ancient. Every point of contact carries an intention. Every change in pressure communicates a level of desire. Every lingering second tells a story that her nervous system is reading in real time. The difference between being the friend and being the lover isn't found in your bank account or your height. It's found in the microscopic adjustments of pressure, position, and timing during physical contact. Most men live their entire lives never understanding this language. They hug a woman they are attracted to the same way they hug their mother or a colleague at a corporate mixer. They wonder why the spark never catches, why she pulls away so quickly, and why the moment evaporates into awkward silence. The men who understand this operating system live in a different world. They don't need to try harder because they know how to communicate through the oldest language humans possess. This is the language of the nervous system, a biological dialogue that bypasses the prefrontal cortex and speaks directly to the limbic system. When skin makes contact with skin, the body releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. However, the type of touch determines the type of bond. A handshake creates professional trust. A pat on the back creates camaraderie. But there are specific, intentional, and strategically placed touches that activate the brain in ways that bypass rational thought entirely. The hypothalamus lights up. The ventral tegmental area floods the brain with dopamine. The amygdala begins associating your very presence with reward and safety. This isn't manipulation, it is fundamental biology. Anthropologists have found that the escalation from public to private touch follows a universal sequence across every culture on Earth. The men who master this sequence don't have to ask what to do next because the woman's body tells them. Behavioral psychology shows that women often make unconscious decisions about a man's sexual viability within the first 3 points of physical contact. Not 3 dates, not 3 months, 3 touches. And most men waste all 3 on polite, forgettable interactions that scream insecurity or indifference. Imagine a room where the lights are low and the music is fading. She moves toward you for a hug. At this moment, your autopilot wants to take over. It wants you to stay in the safe zone. It wants you to be the polite gentleman who doesn't ruffle any feathers. But there is a doorway here. There is an opportunity to turn an ordinary goodbye into something she will replay in her mind for the next 48 hours. To do this, you must understand the 6 layers of the physical code. The first layer is the lower back anchor. Most men make the mistake of keeping their hands high, near the shoulder blades. This is the safe zone, the place where platonic friends, cousins, and co-workers reside. When you keep your hands high, you are signaling that you are afraid of her body. You are signaling that you are seeking permission to even exist in her space. But when you place your hand on her lower back, right at the curve where the spine begins its descent, you are claiming space. This area is mapped differently in the brain's somatosensory cortex. It is more sensitive and more intimately connected to the nerve pathways that the conscious mind usually ignores in public. Your palm should be flat, your fingers spread slightly, and your pressure should be firm and grounded. This isn't aggressive, but it is certain that it communicates that you are comfortable in her intimate zone and that you belong there. Most men touch women as if they are afraid of breaking them, and that hesitation kills attraction faster than a bad outfit ever could. The lower back anchor says without a word that you are a man of presence. You aren't just passing through, you are an anchor in her world. Think about the physics of this position. By placing your hand lower, you naturally bring her center of gravity closer to yours. You are subtly guiding the interaction without needing to say a single word. This is where the tension begins. It's a low-frequency hum that vibrates between your bodies. While other men are busy talking about their jobs or their cars, you are speaking directly to her cellular structure. This leads us to the second layer, which is the shoulder blade draw. Most men waste the holding phase of an embrace. They stand there static, like two wooden boards leaning against each other, waiting for the socially acceptable timer to run out so they can let go. But you must use this time to eliminate the distance. You must break the A-frame. An A-frame hug is that awkward position where the shoulders touch but the hips are miles apart, creating a literal letter A shape. It is the universal sign of I don't want to be here or I am terrified of intimacy. To break this, as your hand is anchored on her lower back, your other hand travels upward along her side. Your fingers should trace the path of her ribs, activating the dense network of nerve endings along the lateral torso. When you reach the shoulder blades, you don't yank her, you draw her. There is a massive psychological difference between pulling someone and drawing them in. Pulling creates resistance, drawing creates melting. This inward pressure eliminates the empty space and creates full body contact from the chest down to the thighs. In this moment, her nervous system makes a final assessment. Is this man a provider of safety and excitement, or is he just another neutral observer? The shoulder blade draw, when done with confidence, registers as both protective and electric. It signals that you are not afraid of her femininity and that you have the strength to hold it. This creates a vacuum where her breath will often hitch, a micro-signal that you have successfully bypassed her logical defenses. Now we move into the third layer, the one that separates the boys from the men, the neck cradle. This requires a level of boldness that most men simply do not possess because they are too worried about being perceived as too much. But being too much is almost always better than being nothing at all. As the hug lingers and the world outside begins to blur, one of your hands travels from the back to the base of her neck. You aren't gripping, you are resting. Your fingers slide into the hair at the nape of her neck, while your thumb settles softly against the side of her throat or just behind the ear. This is a position of extreme evolutionary vulnerability. The neck contains the vital structures of life, the carotid artery, the jugular vein, and the windpipe. When a woman allows you to touch her there without tensing up or pulling away, she is giving you a level of biological trust that exceeds anything she could ever say in a text message. This area is hypersensitive. The proximity to her ear means she can feel the warmth of your breath and hear the resonance of your heartbeat. Her breathing will change. You will feel her chest expand against yours in a slower, deeper rhythm. This is the point where most men panic. They feel the shift in energy, they feel the sexual tension rise to a boiling point, and they immediately pull back to crack a joke or look at their phone because they can't handle the heat they've created. But tension is the entire point of the exercise. The man who can sit comfortably in that silence, holding that space without needing to fill it with nervous chatter, is the man she will replay in her mind when she is alone. The neck cradle says I have you, and it says it with a gravity that words cannot replicate. The fourth layer is hip recognition. It's a hard truth of human nature, but hips don't lie. The positioning of her hips tells you everything you need to know about her level of attraction long before she ever admits it to herself. If she is angled away, the door is closed. But if her hips are square to yours, if there is no gap between your lower bodies, you have a green light that is flashing bright. As your hands are anchored and drawing her in, let one hand drift naturally to the hip bone. Not the thigh, not the glute, the hip. Right where the bone creates that distinctive curve that defines the feminine silhouette. This touch is possessive without being overbearing. It is an intimate statement that says, I see you as a woman, not just a friend. Women are starving for this kind of masculine directness. They are tired of men who treat every interaction like a legal negotiation, constantly looking for verbal permission because they are too afraid to lead. Your hand on her hip is an honest expression of masculine desire, and honesty, when grounded in respect, is the ultimate aphrodisiac. It creates a polarization. It reminds her of her own femininity by providing a solid, masculine counterpoint. This is the dance of opposites that fuels all attraction. If you touch her like a brother, she will feel like a sister. If you touch her like a man who knows what he wants, she will feel like the woman who is wanted. This leads into the fifth layer, the mastery of time, also known as the temporal stretch. Most men use touch as a means to an end, a quick transaction to be completed. But the high-value man knows that time is his most potent weapon. A 3-second hug is a greeting. A 7-second hug is an intimacy. A 15-second hug is a biological event. The temporal stretch is the act of holding the embrace longer than social convention dictates. You don't release when she expects you to. You don't pull away the moment the hug feels finished. You let the silence grow. You let her body adjust to the heat and the weight of yours. Around the 12-second mark, the analytical mind usually shuts off completely. The prefrontal cortex, which is busy worrying about the time or what people think, gives up and hands the reins to the primitive brain. Oxytocin levels peak, cortisol, the stress hormone, drops significantly, and the stresses of her day-to-day life begin to dissolve into the background. She begins to associate your presence with a sense of peace and groundedness that she can't find in the chaotic world outside. This requires you to be completely present. If you are thinking about your next move or wondering if you're doing it right, she will feel your distraction as a lack of strength. But if you are simply there, fully inhabiting your own body, she will feel that as a mountain of stability. Presence is the rarest gift you can give another human being in the modern age, and the temporal stretch is the physical proof of that gift. It tells her that you aren't in a rush to get anywhere else, because there is nowhere else you'd rather be. Finally, we reach the sixth layer, the release linger. This is where the majority of men fail right at the finish line. They've done everything right, the anchor, the draw, the cradle, but then they break contact as if they've been touched by a hot stove. They jump back, hands drop to their sides, and all that beautiful tension they spent minutes building just vanishes into the air like smoke. The release linger is the art of the slow exit. As you finally begin to step away, your hands do not leave her body immediately. They slide slowly, almost reluctantly, down her back, across her hips, and down her arms until you are holding nothing but her hands. Then and only then do you let go. This creates what psychologists call a ghost touch. Her skin continues to register the sensation of your hands long after the physical contact has ended. It creates a vacuum of anticipation. She is left standing there, suddenly feeling the cold air where your warmth used to be. This is high-level behavioral reinforcement. Her brain will remember the peak intensity of the hug and the slow, lingering end, and it will subconsciously crave the next cycle. You have planted a seed of desire that will grow in the silence after you leave. You must understand that attraction is not a choice she makes with her logic. It's a response her body has to your frequency. You can spend years being the nice guy, being the shoulder to cry on, and being the one who is always there, and you will still lose every single time to the man who knows how to communicate his intent through the skin. While you are waiting for the perfect moment or trying to find the right words to convince her to like you, other men are creating the moments that make words irrelevant. They are speaking the language of the limbic system while you are still stuck in the grammar of the conscious mind. The world is full of men who are terrified of their own masculinity, men who apologize for their existence and hide their desire behind a mask of politeness. But a woman doesn't want an apology. She wants a man who is comfortable in his own skin. She wants a man who can lead her into an experience without needing a map or a permission slip. When you master these 6 layers, you stop being a beggar for attention and you start being a source of value. You stop pursuing and you start attracting. You stop asking for space and you start commanding it. This isn't about some secret trick. It's about a fundamental shift in how you inhabit your own body. It's about moving from a state of hesitation to a state of certainty. Every woman you meet is secretly hoping that you are the man who understands this. She is hoping that you won't make her do the heavy lifting of creating the spark. She is hoping that you will have the courage to reach past the social mask and touch the part of her that is ancient and real. You are now in possession of a map that most men will never see, even if they live to be 100. But a map is useless if you don't have the courage to walk the path. The next time you are in that moment, when the world slows down and she moves toward you, remember the silent signal. Remember that you are not just giving a hug. You are conducting a symphony of neurochemicals. Remember the lower back anchor, the shoulder blade draw, the neck cradle, and the hip recognition. Remember the power of the clock and the art of the exit. This is how you move from being a background character in her life to being the man who occupies her thoughts when the lights go out. It is a transition from being a spectator to being the protagonist. You must realize that every interaction is an opportunity to practice this language. It doesn't matter if it's a first date or a long-term partner, the biology remains the same. The need for safety, the craving for excitement, and the response to masculine presence are hardwired into the human experience. Most men are so caught up in their own heads, worrying about being rejected or looking stupid, that they miss the subtle cues she's giving them every second. They miss the lean in, the dilation of the pupils, the slowing of the breath. But when you are grounded, you see it all. You become the observer as well as the actor. You see the effect your touch has on her, and that feedback loop only increases your confidence. It becomes a virtuous cycle. The more you understand the language, the more effective you become, and the more effective you become, the more she responds. It is a level of mastery that very few men ever achieve, not because it's difficult, but because they were never told it exists. They were told to be nice, to be respectful, and to wait for her to give a clear verbal sign. But by the time she gives a verbal sign, the moment has usually passed. Biology doesn't wait for permission, it responds to leadership. Leadership in attraction is the ability to take her from a state of neutrality to a state of high arousal and safety simultaneously. It's a delicate balance. Too much excitement without safety feels like a threat. Too much safety without excitement feels like a friendship. These 6 touches are the dial that allows you to tune that balance perfectly. They provide the safety through the firm, grounded pressure and the protective positions, and they provide the excitement through the vulnerability and the invasion of the intimate zone. It is a complete package. As you move forward, do not treat this like a mechanical checklist. Do not be the robot who is counting seconds in his head or looking down at his hands to see if they are on the hip. This must become a part of who you are. It must flow from a genuine place of appreciation for the woman in front of you. If you are doing this just to get something, she will feel the predatory energy and she will shut down. But if you are doing this to share an experience, to give her the gift of feeling truly seen and desired, then the results will be unlike anything you've experienced before. You will find that women start to linger around you longer. You will find that they touch you more. You will find that the barriers that used to stand in your way simply melt away. This is the power of the silent signal. It is the power of the man who has mastered the invisible world. You have spent enough time operating in the dark, guessing and hoping that things will work out. It is time to step into the light of understanding. It is time to become the man who knows. The choice is yours. You can continue to be the polite, forgettable guy who wonders why he's always the friend, or you can become the man who changes the room the moment he steps into it. You can be the man who understands the deep, unspoken needs of the feminine heart and knows exactly how to meet them. This is high-level behavioral psychology, evolutionary biology, and masculine art combined into a single philosophy of life. It is the blueprint for a different kind of existence. One where you are the master of your destiny and the architect of your own attraction. The journey starts with a single touch, but it leads to a lifetime of connection. If you are ready to stop guessing and start leading, if you are ready to master the hidden psychology of attraction and build the kind of masculine presence that makes you impossible to ignore, then you need to take the next step. Every day you wait is another day you remain forgettable. Every moment you hesitate is a moment some other man is taking the lead. It's time to upgrade your operating system and leave the old, ineffective version of yourself behind. Click the link in the description to join our elite training program and unlock the full blueprint for masculine mastery. We dive deeper into the nuances of body language, the psychology of desire, and the secrets of the masculine frame. This is the education they never gave you in school, the wisdom your father likely didn't know, and the edge you've been looking for. Stop being the man she likes and start being the man she craves. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the secrets of the human mind and the mechanics of attraction. The world is waiting for you to show up as the strongest version of yourself. The language is there, the signals are waiting to be sent, and the only question left is whether you are finally ready to speak. Your new life is waiting on the other side of this knowledge. Will you take it?